Good day, everybody. Kevin Jackal Johnston here from JackalComics.com, and we're going to talk about Superman and the unbelievable difference in the powers that he has based on which particular genre, piece, medium, or artist or director happens to be handling him at that particular time. Many of you are asking the question out there, did Superman juggle planets? I went looking for this particular piece of information. I also went looking for images on Google and Yahoo and a few other places to see Superman juggling planets. I couldn't find it, so I'm going to assume that in the Golden Age, Superman juggling planets simply meant that he was really strong and could do anything. I'm thinking it's figurative, not literal. Superman is a frustrating character to be a fan of. I'll tell you why. In fact, I've already told you why, but I'm going to repeat myself anyway. It's simply put, his capacity to do whatever changes with the artist or the director who's involved with the project. Somehow, in the old days, he was only able to leap tall buildings in a single bound and land without hurting himself. That was great. Then it stretched out into the 50s to juggling planets. And at some point, he ended up having a super dog and a super cat and super back hair and super whatever. And then Richard Donner's movies come around. And Richard Donner has Superman reversing the flow of time just by flying around the planet very quickly. Ultimately speaking, all that would have done is change the cycle in which the sun comes up, east-west versus west-east. Certainly would not have turned back time. He also, in Superman 2, had the ability to grab a plastic S off of his chest. I think that was probably Richard Lester's idea, which turns into some kind of cellophane wrap. Wonderful. He also has the ability to stop lasers with his bare hand, and has the ability to make people, specifically women, forget all kinds of stuff, based solely on the fact that he can kiss them. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Superman would be the ultimate rapist. He could rape your ass, rape your mouth, rape everything about you, and you'd never know because one magical kiss, ba-bum, and it's all gone. Then there was that disgusting film, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Superman now has telekinesis. He's able to, with his eyes, guide police officers who are flying around the air safely down to the ground. And, spoiler alert, woo! He was able to repair the Great Wall of China just by looking at it. Little white stuff came out of his eyes, and the Great Wall of China repaired itself. This whole thing has become out of hand because there's so many silly references just like that, and even some of the older cartoons. Superman pushing the Earth out of the way, as an example. We're not even clear if Superman needs to eat. I think that he doesn't because he pulls in energy from the sun, but we see him eating and drinking all the time. Superman can live in space or cannot live in space. We're not entirely sure if he requires oxygen or not. We hear him also with the incredible superpower to be able to speak in space, and sometimes speaking in space wearing a costume of some type, a spacesuit with a big S on it. Once again, we're just not sure. There's no written rules for this guy. I'll add more to it in that he is seen speaking other languages magically, and he also does things like memorizes vast amounts of information just by looking at a microdot. We're not really sure anything about this guy. And then you get the non-canon, very bizarre stories like All-Star Superman, where he is able to turn into another life form because he absorbed too much radiation from the sun and reignite a sun. The list goes on. Listen, the new movie, Superman, The Man of Steel. Let's be sure on that. And it's not The Man of Steel, it's just Man of Steel. In this new movie, Man of Steel, we have an opportunity for two things to happen. One is to introduce some real action-packed, no-nonsense, awesome Superman stuff to the big screen, which the last batch of movies failed in miserably due to budget constraints, shortage of technology, bad directors like Richard Lester, horrible ideas like bringing him in to helm an entire film like Superman 3. He's not up to the challenge. But we also have the opportunity for DC Comics and these movie makers to get together and say, all right, here's Superman. Here's how strong he is. Here's what breaks his skin. Here's what does not break his skin. Here's what diseases affect him. Here's what diseases do not affect him. Here's what his heat vision does. Here's what the X-ray vision does. Blah, 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 blah. There needs to be a set bar. And this way, we can stop bringing in guest artists and guest writers for DC Comics and changing Superman before our very eyes, only to have these new abilities or powers completely ignored in comic book continuity from that day forward. It is frustrating. It's incredibly annoying. Superman is not the Green Lantern. Green Lantern can imagine anything and make it so. That is what the appeal is for a normal human guy to be able to be as powerful as Superman. It's cool. If he wants a black hole or a singularity, there it is. Superman does not have the ability to make a black hole or a singularity appear, unless maybe he rubs a diamond really quickly, in which case none of that makes sense, and it becomes incredibly annoying for the reader. It's also a big middle finger to the reader. Please, DC Comics, please, Zack Snyder, please, everybody involved with Superman, let's bring this guy to a final conclusion of here's what he can do, here's what he cannot do, strengths, weaknesses, emotional strengths, emotional weaknesses, done. Don't add any more powers to this list. Please, let's do this. I'm Kevin Jackal Johnston, and thank you very much for listening to our show today. Visit us online at jackalcomics.com. We have more than 5 free webcomics for you to read every Monday morning. They pop out free of charge. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/KevinTheJackal. And for all you out there who do not know how to spell Jackal, it is Jackal, not E-L, A-L. Twitter.com/KevinTheJackal, jackalcomics.com. Have a
trusting